For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Guys, today we have Adarsa Raj M ma'am with us, and she is the author of Love, Melancholy, and My Socrates. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on show. I'm truly grateful that you have chosen us.
You're welcome.
So, ma'am, before we get into the podcast and know much more about your book, about your upcoming projects, about your take on different things related to publishing books and all, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you, and do share how you started this writing journey as well.
Sure. Hello everyone. I'm Adarsa Raj. Basically, I'm from Kerala. When I was publishing my book, I was a student. I was a postgraduate student in Tata Institute of Social Science. That time, during my graduation, the poems I have wrote, I planned to publish it. But the journey actually started in my childhood itself. When I was 6 years of old, I started writing something in my mother tongue, that is Malayalam. Whatever coming to my imagination, I used to write. Not in a definite format. It will be like some sentences, maybe some words only. But whatever coming to my mind, I used to write. Then I developed it as a hobby. So when I was in my 5th standard, completely I wrote a poem in Malayalam. And my teachers gave me a lot of inspiration after reading the poem. So I continued to work upon it. And when I was in my 11th standard, first time I was writing something in English in a poetry format. Then I used to part of many competitions also. So this gave me an inspiration to write more. During my graduation, when I have spent a lot of time alone, I used to write lot of poems in English. That poems I published during my post-graduation, and that was the work Love, Melancholy, and My Socrates. Now I'm a working professional. I didn't get much time to write something, but now also during Sundays, whenever I'm getting time, I used to dedicate 5 or 10 minutes to write something whichever coming to my mind. That's all about me.
Lovely, ma'am. Truly an inspiring journey. So, ma'am, after listening to this podcast, many people will just love to follow you. They love to just buy the book, read and share it with their friends and family too. So talking from a new reader's perspective, what a new reader can expect from your book? Can you share some insights with us?
Yeah, sure. Actually, the perspective or the main idea of my book is a girl who is in the early 20s. Whatever scattered thoughts coming to her mind due to the emotional dilemma she has faced during her life. So I think people who are living in this particular age, they have the similar thoughts in their mind. And a lot of people are experiencing loneliness, and some people don't have much friends. So they don't know whom to share, what to share, whom to trust. So I also went through a lot of experiences like this. So during that time, I used to write these poems. So these poems are mainly focusing on the emotional dilemma of early 20s. I portrayed a girl named Pandora as a fictional character. But whether it is a boy, whether it is a girl, they have the similar experiences. And also they feel very uncomfortable or immature when they saw the world with a lot of working professionals or a world with a lot of matured people. They feel very inferior. So that uncomfortable feelings they have. So if they are reading this book and the similar thoughts they have, then they can relate it. And also when I used to write, I feel like if I have no one to share my worries, so during writing I get some relief. The same thing, if someone is reading, they are getting like something relatable feeling. And also I used to incorporate some socio-political relevant poems also. These are like a scattered diary entry of a girl. So whatever coming to her mind, that is evident in the book. So her opinion on socio-political things, her view on philosophy, and also the first love she had and the despair she had, everything in a mixed way I portrayed in the book. So someone who is in the middle or like early 20, they can relate to it. So that is what I meant during writing this particular work.
So, ma'am, like as we talked about the perspective of a new reader, like what they can expect. Now, as we will be sharing on social media, so definitely people who have already read a book, they might also be listening to this podcast in future. So now talking from a perspective of a person who have already read this book, right? So what they can expect from you as of now, like you want to try a bit on some other genres, experiment on some other genres, or you want to stick to these only? Is there anything in the pipeline? And if yes, then what it is? If you can share.
So you are basically asking about a new reader's perspective, right?
No, ma'am. I'm asking about the person who have already read this book and now they are listening to this podcast in the hope that, okay, if this person have written this book, Love, Melancholy and My Socrates, then what's next? Is she writing something next?
Okay. Actually, after writing this book, something coming to my mind is like I can write something in my mother tongue as well. Or if I'm continuing in the English language itself, like rather than poetry, I can write something short story and all. So the theme may be connected one, like as I mentioned, the love, like something philosophically, and the teenage people only I maybe consider as my fictional characters. The theme may be the same, but the nature of the work may change. Like first I have done the poetry and now I'm thinking about something like short story. So that nature of work may change, but the theme would be the love, despair and emotional dilemma, and in different ways to express the feeling.
Okay, ma'am. So ma'am, like we are in this industry for more than 8 years as of now, and I am running this podcast for more than 4 years. In Feb 2021 we started, and since then only I am in conversations more than 450 to 500 authors personally, and to be my knowledge, most of them are trying to be known or remembered as a certain genre, as a certain type of author. They want to fit themselves in a kind of template. So when it comes to you, if anybody sees after a couple of years from now, okay, it's a new book by Adarsa ma'am. So what sudden impact do you want to leave on that reader's mind? Okay, if the book is by Adarsa ma'am, it has to be like that. It will be vibing like that. I will get these kinds of story. I will get these kinds of thought from this. Have you ever thought about this from a personal branding perspective?
Okay, as I'm a beginner in this, I didn't much have insight on it, but my expectation is people are nowadays, everyone is concentrating on something which is valuable in the market, right? Some themes or some certain type of genre, these kind of things will attract the audience. For me it is like for me it is like the thing, whatever I'm writing, if I'm getting satisfaction from it, and if I'm thinking that the people or the readers after reading this, they will get some relatable feeling from this, that is what I'm trying to make. So right now I'm also like in the early 20s only, so I can write my own experiences in a format of like indirectly through the fictional characters, and people who read it can be make it relatable to them. So that is why I'm always targeting this love or loneliness and the despair, feeling of like failure of, or feeling of losing out, missing out, these kind of feelings people have in this particular age. And other thing is, if you are sharing this to a particular person, they also have this trust issues. Is that person judging me or not? Or can I trust the person completely? So mostly people have they can't consider a person as a horrigal also, like they can't trust the person, so mostly no one is willing to share. So if you're reading a book or if you're writing some thoughts like that, it will definitely make a impact, I guess. So in a branding perspective, I'm not talking much on it, but I'm considering as my expectation this soothing or this kind of feeling they have generated in their mind. If they can relatable to my work, that will create an impact.
Ma'am, as of now, what's your current writing schedule? Like every day you devote some particular hours to writing, or it's like random? Someday you get some thoughts, you just jot it down on your phone, on your diary, and after that you elaborate. How does it goes with you?
I consider this writing as my hobby and not as a profession itself. So my education background is mostly related to this sociology, rural development, and the work now I'm doing is also connected to CSR. So the thing is, after I got this job, my schedule is like very busy. So that time I feel like something like if I can contribute 5 or 10 minutes per day for writing, that will be good, but not every day I could. So today is Sunday, so I can dedicate some time for writing. So it is not on the daily schedule basis. Whenever I get time, like leisure time, then something is coming to my mind, I used to write. Sometimes it may be in the diary, sometimes I was typing in my phone, like if I'm traveling to some far places, maybe it's convenient, we can write something in phone. So these are like naturally coming. I never planned something like today I wrote for this time, this to this time I'm writing. It is nothing like that. That schedule won't work for me. So something naturally coming out that I used to write.
Okay. So, ma'am, my next question to this podcast is like, now let's get back to the time when you heard, okay, tomorrow your book will be live. Everybody will be able to buy it, read it, judge you on the basis of what you have written generally. So on that particular evening, like a day before that particular event, on that evening, what was going on in your mind? Like, were you relaxed, excited? You just marked up some milestones. Okay, these many people know me. My book has to be sold out. These many copies. It has to be like that. What was going on in your mind?
Probably I will be excited. I don't think I will be relaxed because some sort of, as I said, this much you may understand that I am giving a lot of importance to the emotions, feelings, etc. So definitely I will be excited, and a bit worry will be there. As I said, most of my writings I am concentrating on these issues, like people will judge me or not. That aspect also I shared with you. That is always with me also. So whenever I did something, then I think about if someone read this, and in that whatever I meant may not like they have their own perspective as well. So how they will evaluate it, that kind of feeling may be there, but I think I will be more excited.
Okay. So as of now, like, what I have seen that after the first lockdown was over, the numbers of author got increased very rapidly. Like there was a boom in this industry, and in fact the publishing has become much more easier. Like we have KDP, literary agents, self-publishing house, traditional is always there. So the publishing has become much more easier, whereas the marketing and distribution have completely changed the game. It has become very much difficult because of more than hundreds of books are being published every week, we can say, as of now. So as you have completed this whole journey, like what's your take on this? Like how hard it has become to make your book stand out in the market?
Yeah, nowadays the self-publications are also there, and also conventional publications. Both are in a good way. But for me, right now I did it with Bookleaf Publishing, and it may be a bit more like easier way to publish your book. But other thing is there is no proofreading facilities they are offering. I'm not only talking about a particular publication. Whoever doing this self-publishing, they may not review it properly. So what I did is, like, I used to get some mentorship from my some seniors who are writing. So some senior authors I know personally. After that only I try to make it as a book, because after all something we have to do like ourselves. Some quality matters. So that you have to do individually if you are doing self-publishing. That is one drawback. And other thing is you can easily make it into the market. But in conventional publication, even if like it takes some time, I think the quality will increase. You may get some self-improvement. So nowadays the number of books published through self-publishing is increasing day by day. And as per my knowledge, there are some scams also going on. uh, yeah, there are some scams. I know some people who are the victims of those scams also. So that also we have to consider. So if you are publishing your book, just make sure that publication will be worth or not. So that would be considered. And coming to the competition aspect, I personally consider myself like not in a big competitive way. I used to read a lot of books also, like people like me, how they are writing, not only the award-winning books, like whichever books I feel like interesting. Mostly in my mother tongue I used to read. So now also currently I'm reading one book in Malayalam.
Okay.
So after reading that book, I feel like how those people are writing, how they are writing the similar themes I like. Then how they, if they publish with a conventional publishing house, how they did it, like what kind of quality of that book. That also I try to assess myself. So especially after this COVID-19, that lockdown time, I started reading like that. Okay. That I consider as a positive way also, more than this competitive mindset.
Okay. So do you think that, someday you will shift from English to complete Malayali author, like who completely writes in Malayalam?
Not completely, I guess, because the thing is, I studied in a Malayalam medium school. So anyways, the first some poems and all I wrote in Malayalam, and I shifted to the English, as I said in the self-introduction. It is in the 11th standard only. But now, as a part of my job or my colleagues, everyone, I'm communicating in English. So nowadays, I'm mostly writing in English. But somewhere I feel like I lost this habit of writing in Malayalam. That really, I had a regret. So that's why I'm at least try to read something in Malayalam. Maybe some books I feel like I have to publish. That I will do with some good conventional publications only, and it will take some time also. But I'm not saying that I will be completely switching to my mother tongue. I try to balance both.
Okay. So in which month your book was published?
It was in the January month.
January 2025. Okay. So in these 7 months, tell me one thing that you like about this industry and one thing that you just simply hated about this industry, that it needs to get fixed ASAP.
Something I like about it means I got some good people who like to talk about the same theme I like, and about the books and other related thing, like about the literary world. Their opinions I got, like I don't know these people before. Maybe some people who the book reviews or something, I got good connection with them, and I spent some good amount of time to communicate with them. That really gave me a lot of insight also. But at the same time, as I mentioned before, some scams or something is going on. And I was one page I found in the Instagram. They are calling out a lot of people. So I was thinking, this much scams they are on Instagram itself. This much scams are going on just because they're just targeting the people who wrote the poetry. So I was thinking it is like very. It is creating very big negative impact to the authors or creative people. Like if one day they fall into this scam, then after that they may lose the confidence to write.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is one thing I observe very negatively. And in some way we can say normally people's attitude towards a book and or any other creative work, you can compare it will be generally you can see decrease in the number of like their interest will be decreased when it comes to book.
I agree on this.
Yeah, that's also another thing.
Okay. So probably my last question to you of this podcast will be, ma'am, like after listening to this podcast, many people will just start writing, or they might be holding their first draft in their laptop, in their diary, in their book. So what would be your advice for those upcoming authors?
Yeah, actually, in my personal opinion, I'm a person who really like to write something in my own handwriting. Like I prefer to write in diary only. But right now, what I'm thinking is, if you are planning to publish, most of the publishing house want the soft copy.
Hmm.
So if you could make it on like laptop or whatever device you're using, if you could make it on digitally, it may be convenient to publish it.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I personally feel like if I'm writing in a diary or like just a paper and pen, that will feel as very comfortable, or
Ah, true.
I felt very comfortable with it.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
is one aspect.
Hmm.
At the same time, when it comes to publishing, maybe you have to change it into soft copy.
Hmm.
So the case, and if you are planning to publish it very soon or something, then it's better to go with the digital device, something you can type.
Okay. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Adarsa ma'am. And if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. You can just go on Amazon and search Adarsa Raj M. You will get the book. Just buy it, read it, share with your friends and family too. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.